NASA invests next to nothing to search for alien life, says scientist. July 31, 2019. U.S. Space Agency says it looks for extraterrestrial life, but acts the other way, investing next to nothing in such projects. NASA invests next to nothing to search for alien life, says scientist. Mission: NASA is preparing to launch a search for alien planets with the recent arrival of the 50th anniversary of Apollo lunar landings. People around the world were reminded of the remarkable achievements half a century ago that led humans to an alien world. It was, as the famous astronaut Neil Armstrong said, a big leap for humanity. And yet it was also just a small step, not only for Armstrong, but also in terms of humanity's future space missions. Current plans to return to the moon were reiterated by Vice President Mike Pence, who spoke at the recent celebration of One Giant Leap, an event marking the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 landing. Pence told an audience that included astronaut Buzz Aldrin, "I am proud to report under the direction of the President of the United States of America, America will return to the moon within the next 5 years, and the next man and first woman on the moon will be U.S. astronauts." This only serves to show the exciting times in which we live, and there may be no field where this is more evident than in the aerospace industry, with the current push by private companies like Blue Origin and others to take humanity to the stars. In addition to the many benefits to humanity that may result from our desire to move further into the cosmos, there are other remarkable discoveries that could be made as well. Arguably, the biggest one may be to finally learn the answer to the old question, are we alone? As our terrestrial technology improves, many astronomers and astrobiologists find it only a matter of time before we find evidence of life out there, either through evidence of technology signatures, evidence of life found through detecting advanced technologies that may be in use, or even discovering simpler life forms during our eventual voyage to other worlds, whether unmanned voyages, or with the help of robotic systems that we ship in our place. It is interesting, therefore, that with all interest in the potential discovery of alien life, the U.S. Space Agency NASA actually uses very little in technologies that can help us find life out there. At least that's the case, according to Jason Wright, an astronomer at Pennsylvania State University, who recently talked to The Conversation about the silly plan to break into Area 51. Among other things, Wright said he hadn't even heard of the last Area 51 memo until Alternet asked him about it. However, far more interesting than the discussion of Area 51 and alien theories that have been raised about this over the years, were Wright's thoughts on the search for alien life. Wright at The Conversation: "The pursuit of life in the universe is a top priority for NASA and U.S. science. Many of our missions to Mars and our space telescopes are designed with the detection of biosignatures in mind, biosignatures being signs of life as microfossils or evidence of metabolism in distant planet atmospheres." However, Wright also said that despite all the interest in finding alien life, funding for these programs remains a problem. "But despite the billions of dollars spent on these missions, I think many members of the public would be surprised to learn that NASA and the National Science Foundation spend next to nothing looking for intelligent life in the universe, including the technological life that could ultimately be easier to find. I think the level of funding for the field should be determined the way the rest of science is, through competitive review of research proposals. So I don't know what the right level is, but I know it's not zero." In an article earlier this year, titled "Searches for Technosignatures: The State of the Profession," Wright called for more interest from NASA and the National Science Foundation for the search for alien life technologies. Wright argued, "The quest for life in the universe is a major theme of astronomy and astrophysics for the next decade. Technological signature searches are complementary to biosignature searches because they offer an alternative path to discovery and address the question of whether complex technological life exists elsewhere in the galaxy." Wright argues that the space agency and other agencies and organizations capable of leading the way in this field have not done so, in part because of stigmas that have become associated with the idea of alien life, and which paths could lead to their eventual discovery. According to Wright, NASA shunned the topic, as a result of decades of political past distortion of effort with unscientific topics such as UFOs, and confusion over the scope of the term SETI. SETI equals Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. SETI, or the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, remains somewhat controversial today. Although endorsed by people like Carl Sagan and many other notable advocates of science over the years, it has become a shadow of the once ambitious and coordinated effort of decades ago, and today is largely independently funded. Wright says the Astro 2020 Decadal must address NASA's lack of involvement, making field development an explicit priority for the next decade. NASA and NSF are recommended to support field training and curriculum development to support equity and diversity and to make explicit calls for technology signature search funding proposals. As Wright notes, discovering alien life may require little more than finding evidence of alien technology, a process that can begin right now, with technologies already available to us, and without having to leave Earth. The question that remains is whether we can move beyond the highly stigmatized idea of alien life long enough to realize new and innovative plans for the future. These plans are as important as any current plans for future space missions. And finally, they could provide answers as to whether we are truly alone in this strange and mysterious universe.